Hello. Just before we start the show today, I'd like to give a massive congratulations to one of our patrons who is getting married this weekend. Congratulations to Rob and Victoria. Everyone here at I Hate Your Movie wishes you a lifetime of happiness.
Congratulations.
And now on with the show.
Hello and welcome to the last ever episode of I Hate Your Movie. It was a good ride.
We found the movie that broke us.
Yeah, literally, I think I broke my psyche. It's like finding the Holy Grail, but completely the opposite. It's like the shittiest thing ever. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Roger, for engaging in our Patreon bag of doom.
It can only get better from here based on the other picks. So, that's your silver lining.
Too mean, Roger. Too mean.
Yeah. And if you like this movie, good for you.
Overall thoughts. What's your one sentence review?
Oh, God. Based on the trailer, I didn't think they would get into the Israel-Palestine conflict in this movie.
For a film about the existence of God, this proves there isn't one.
Nice. I like yours better.
Thank you.
Well, so you've seen this movie.
I've seen this movie before. This is the second time I've seen it. I saw it in the cinema.
Whoa.
I was that excited to see it that I went to go see it.
I remember from the previous episode you said that you watched this with your now wife.
Yep.
She's still with you, right?
For some reason, yeah.
I'm curious though, ever since that discussion is like, why?
From the trailer, it looked like a funny Seth Rogen comedy. Seth Rogen was at his peak at the time. He was releasing funny film after funny film. We're talking like Pineapple Express, This Is the End. Pretty funny films.
Yeah.
And then he did this.
I was pretty sure that based on the trailer, this movie is one joke that's stretched to an hour and a half. And it pretty much is.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect all the extra stuff like the racism.
Yeah, I didn't remember it that well.
It's just 2016.
Yeah.
How did they get away with it?
It's really bad as well in terms of
really
how
bad.
racist things are.
And it calls itself out. That's the weirdest thing.
What do you mean?
They say something at the end like, oh, how can they watch this terrible thing that everyone's like a stereotype and everything?
Does it say that?
Yeah, it says something like that,
Okay.
yeah. It's like, wow. That's called lamp shading.
Lamp shading.
Yeah, this thing is pretty badly written because this happened.
Okay.
You do the thing and then you make fun of it. I didn't expect the theme to be faith.
No?
Not at all. I didn't expect to have a theme.
Oh, God.
Like, why?
Maybe we should have taken a break after watching the film to record it, because I can't... My brain just... I'm reading my notes and I've got, like, we're going to have to go through the film and I can't do it. I can't live through it again so soon.
Thank you for listening to this episode of I Hate Your Movie.
Let's go. So the film starts with the morning song, the song that they sing every time the store opens. And basically that's their nod to prayer. And it's all about them going to the great beyond. So yes. The great beyond is outside the shop doors, and the great beyond is beyond the doors. Go away.
Yeah,
my crotch.
Get out. Get out.
The wrong way. There's no dog in here. That was just for those listening. That was Dan telling him to stop swimming. Yeah, so the great beyond is outside the doors, and they believe that humans take care of them.
Yeah, humans are gods.
Humans are gods that take care of them. The people that work there are the Dark Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they do the date checks and they do the quality checks and they throw things in the bin, and that means they don't get to go to the great beyond. I mean, it starts like that, and you kind of have just a little bit of hope for it at that point, that you think, okay, it's about faith and they can actually make some interesting points here, because it could be it could be something even a little bit thought-provoking, and then it immediately hits the lowest common denominator and just starts making stupid sex jokes about sausages going in buns.
Is there any other kind of joke, or is that the only one kind of joke they make ever? And there's so many in a row.
Yeah, that's the thing about it.
I feel like they just wrote a list.
Yeah.
Just...
How many jokes can we come up where sausages go in buns? Oh, here's 302. Let's tell them all.
Yeah.
One at a time.
It didn't get old at all in the first 2 minutes. This movie felt like it was written by a angsty 11-year-old.
Angsty 11-year-old.
Because, like, fuck, cunt, fucking this. It reminded me when I used to have a sticker on my door that said, fuck this fucking shit. It's like...
The main sausage and the main bun are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
At this point, believe in the gods. They think that the gods say they should stay in their packaging.
Mm-hmm.
And they break this rule and they put their hand out the packaging and they touch each other's fingers. And they can't just be like, oh, we're touching for the first time ever. It has to be like, just the tip. I'm putting my tip in. Like, it's...
Yeah. It doesn't even work very well as a joke. It doesn't even make a lot of sense.
No.
But, yeah, they have to somehow stretch it over a sex joke.
I got the feeling like the people who wrote this were just super high for the whole thing. It's the kind of thing you would find hilariously funny. You'd sit down, you'd be like, if you put just a tip in, but it's like fingertips, you know? It's fingertips. Tips.
Yeah, maybe.
While all this is happening, somebody buys a can of mustard, a jar of mustard, and they leave the store, and they come back later, and the god, or human, the main sausage and the main bun are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah. Every type of product is a race.
Yeah.
And it's the most stereotypical, overplayed race you can think of.
Yeah. The German sauerkraut jar
Just Nazis.
is it's Hitler. It's got a little Hitler mustache.
The bagels are Jewish. What was that? Is a wrap kebab?
Yeah, I actually looked this up because I'd never heard of it before. It's a lavash, traditional flatbread.
Okay.
It looks to me like, when you have like garlic bread pizza or like garlic bread flatbread, it looks like that.
Okay. So that guy is Muslim or Arab.
Yeah.
And
He's a Middle Eastern stereotype. I think it's the soy sauce.
Soy sauce is Chinese.
It has like the really thin mustache that 1980s Chinese villains have in films.
80s or 1920s more like. It looked like Fu Manchu.
It's so bad.
Oh, there's a drunk Mexican bottle.
Drunk Mexican bottle. Yeah, it goes on like that.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the worst thing you can think of.
And then imagine the next and the next and the next, and that's the film.
First things first, right? Do you know what a douche is?
I did. You know how I knew it? It's from a South Park episode.
Do I want to know?
It's from a South Park episode.
Okay.
Yeah. When they have the fake election and it's turd sandwich versus giant douche.
Yeah, but isn't that just the names of the candidates?
It is, but they dress up as that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, so that's how I knew. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not something we really have over in the UK. It's not something you can go buy in a. You certainly wouldn't buy it in a supermarket. You might buy it in like a pharmacy or something like that. But it's not something you'd go pick up in Tesco.
No, isn't it just like a moisturizing cream or something like that?
It's got a nozzle on it though that you stick up your bum, or you
Oh.
stick up your doodahs to
Is it?
to moisturize it.
I guess
somehow.
I didn't know.
Oh, okay, that's what he's got the nozzle for in the film, and why he's so upset that it's broken because it goes up inside.
Why would people do that?
I don't know. I really don't get it. We don't have douches over here, so I didn't really know what it was the first time. I still don't 100% understand it now. But obviously, when you say douche, you don't really think of the item. Douche is more now a name for a dickhead.
Yes.
But yeah, that's why in the film as well, like he's so obsessed with the woman's cracks,
Okay.
and why he gets up inside the guy.
Okay.
So they've chosen a particular kind of like aggressive male alpha douche guy.
Yeah.
So they all end up in a trolley. The sausages, the buns, the douche, bunch of other stuff, and the mustard that got picked the first time. And the mustard decides he's not going to be taken again. He's going to jump out of the trolley. Never really explains in this film because you have like flashes between the real world and their world.
Mm-hmm.
And it never really explains how they move around
Visually,
in the real
they
world.
kind of explain it.
Do they?
Yeah, like those little bits.
There's bits where it like rolls.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When it rolls around.
But yeah, it rolls off the counter kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't explain how a sausage, an inanimate sausage, would get from one side of a supermarket to another. I know I'm expecting too much of this film, but you know,
I
would be.
I think they paid, kind of lip service to it. It's like, yeah,
we're gonna acknowledge it every now and again, but fuck you guys, we don't actually care.
Yeah, give me your money.
Mustard's trying to tell them all that they're all fools, and instead of telling them, right, they're eating us outside of the thing, he decides to live this never-ending monologue about how the gods are jerking off. They're jerking off in our faces. It's all in our eyes. Our eyes are stuck, and don't really know why. And then he falls off the trolley.
Because they can't have any more jokes other than sex jokes. So they have to somehow force it in, even if it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he commits suicide.
And then the sausage tries to save him. The bun tries to save the sausage.
Did you think you'd say that sentence ever?
At the same time, everyone's trying to help. The trolley that they're in crashes into another car, and loads of them fall out of the car.
Yeah.
And a bag of flour falls out of the car, and it explodes, and you get this kind of like war scene.
That was my favorite bit.
Yeah.
Like a genuine favorite bit of the movie.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was cool. If it was in the 2-minute short animation, I thought it would be really cool and interesting. Unfortunately, it was an hour and a half of movie. Yeah, it was just like a little, I don't know, creative little scene where he imagines a war scene with vegetables and groceries.
You've got like an Oreo. He's picking up the back of himself. And
a banana's face comes off.
Yeah, that was quite
Yeah, I like
fun.
that kind of visual stuff. That's the best it gets.
I think this film might have been better if you want to tackle like religion and stuff, if you really want to get into it. He finds out the truth, and loads of other people don't believe it, but loads of people believe him. And there's like a war between the two. Okay. You have a big food war.
That would make more sense than the ending we got, for sure.
Because everything fell out the trolley, the douche's nozzle got broken, and he blames the sausage. That is everything you need to know about his character. Done.
Yeah, he's also leaking, but that's
yeah. This is where you meet the racist bagel and the Middle Eastern rap thing. The lavash is, again, very stereotypical. He tells the bun to cover herself because she should be ashamed of herself. I don't know what she's supposed to cover herself in. Everything else is naked.
Everything else is naked from that.
Yeah, even he's naked.
Everyone's naked.
So then they start arguing about like world politics in a really thinly veiled way. Like one of them had an aisle, and then the other one moved into the aisle and called it their homeland, and then
they're talking about Israel Palestine.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Do we really need this terrible stoner comedy to make a stance? And a very like immature kind of stance as well, as like, why can't they just get along?
Yeah, seems like the aisle's big enough for both of you guys. Obviously.
Yeah, they didn't think of that before.
Can you imagine like two people in the UN watching this film and they're like, oh shit, oh we've sorted it, thank you guys, we're all done.
Wow, bagel is almost like Israel and the lavash is almost like Palestine. Wow, this is like a metaphor or something.
Now you find out the douche is leaking.
Yeah, it's leaking and he's sucking up other juices and killing other products.
I found that scene even more, probably the most uncomfortable throughout the whole film, including the ending. Yeah.
That?
Yeah, because it's like a weird rape scene. It's honestly, the juice is on the floor and they're like, no. And then he goes down in it and he's like, she's like, no. And he's batting her hands away. And it's like, oh no, you love it. Or you wanted this or something.
I didn't. It to me came across like a murder scene.
Okay.
Kind of like a vampire kind of murder scene.
But given everything else in the film is based around this sexual nonsense, that's what...
It did look like when he was sucking the grape juice, that he was giving him a blowjob.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they could have put that cut in the juice box in the middle.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have been, but it was between its legs at the front.
So stupid. Everyone who'd made this movie should be ashamed of themselves.
Talk to me about the firewater cave.
Do I have to?
Yes.
They go to the alcohol out, all the booze bottles and things are partying, and then the group splits into two, which is Sausage, Frank. I don't know why I remember his name.
No, I can't remember any of their names. I think one of them's Benny. Benny's the default.
Brenda was the bun.
Brenda Bun.
Brenda Bun, yeah.
Okay.
So Frank the
I
sausage.
don't care.
After this, I'm gonna try to fill my brain with more useful information. Frank the sausage goes to Firewater's tent, and Firewater is this racist Native American stereotype.
Yep. And again, it touches on like world politics for no good reason. It's like, we were here first, and then the crackers moved in.
Yeah.
And the crackers obviously is the food, but it's it's the term they have for white people.
Yeah. So basically, they're the non-perishables: Firewater, the grits, and then Twinkies.
The Twinkie, yeah.
I think that's a joke in itself because it is a perishable, but it's like made out of plastic, basically. So.
It's forever.
Yeah.
Like 2028 kind of sell-by date on it.
Yeah.
It probably has a sell-by date because the plastic around it will deteriorate faster than the food inside.
Wow. They have a little scene where at first they want to beat the sausage up, and then seemingly for no reason they change their mind and they tell them the truth that they created this religion of worshipping the gods.
Yeah, the great beyond.
The great beyond, and it got out of hand.
The products have changed the lyrics of the song they created to suit their own whatever.
I gotta keep that line. That's how much it deserves. Why we have to explain this movie? It's just so fucking stupid.
We'll race through it. We'll get.
The other party
We're
goes.
about halfway through.
The other party goes to the racist Mexican bar. Can you just like imagine that everything is racist in this movie? Because I'm gonna keep saying racist this and racist that. Just imagine that I said that because it's gonna get really repetitive very quickly.
Yeah.
So they go to the racist Mexican bar, and a racist Mexican bottle comes in, a drunk Mexican bottle. And he
lures them there in the first place. He
lures them there, the bun and the other racist characters. I know I should specify, but he lures them for the douche to get them.
Yep. So the douche rocks in. He's being a douche still. And like even in this bit, like it makes no sense. They just put a joke in there to make the douche look like more of a dickhead. But he busts in effectively in the Mexican aisle.
Yeah.
And he busts in and he's like, "Why are you all of you illegal products here?"
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
No?
No, oh my god. Oh, I didn't even make that connection.
No?
Because I think I was thinking that was still connected to the booze.
Okay.
And I thought they were like, they're illegal because they're partying outside of their packaging.
Right.
I gave it way more thought than I should have. Yeah, I got it. Wow, that's horrible.
That is horrible.
Wow, I thought you were going to say that there was a beans pun.
There is a beans pun there as well, somewhere.
Because, you have to milk those food jokes.
Not sure if you mentioned, but Benny the sausage friend and the rest of the sausages and the rest of the buns actually got bought and they went to the great beyond.
Yeah.
And
that's why you see the trailer when they get chopped up and it's like a horror film.
So they find out the truth.
By the way, if you want to watch this film, don't. But if you're still curious, just watch the trailer. That's it.
Yeah.
It has the whole story basically. Like anything that could be interesting or just watch the trailer and you get everything you need out of it.
You probably get more.
Yeah.
Because you don't have all the racist nonsense to sit through.
Yeah, the trailer is like a funny little short animation.
Yeah, and based on that is why I went to see the film the first time. So watch the trailer, you'll see what happens in this scene. They find out the truth. Potatoes get peeled, baby carrots get eaten. The other food is like, no, not the children. And then, again, it doesn't really explain how in the real world, but Benny jumps out the window. Benny then goes down the street somehow.
Oh, yeah.
And he finds a sausage on the floor that he tries to talk to, and it turns out it's a shit.
Yeah, with sweet corns in it. Zombie sweet corn.
Zombie sweet corns are in the shit.
And a used condom.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's why I heard you really sigh.
Benny the sausage finds his human friend. Well, it's not his human friend, it's his human... Because he sees the bag from the shopping bag from the floor and he knows it's from his supermarket. So he grabs hold of the guy's shoestring.
Yeah, as he's buying bath salts.
As he's buying bath salts.
Which is a weird thing, like bath salts you can just get You don't need to like go in the dark alley
true.
to get a little bag. And I don't think you shoot it up like that. I know that goes ahead a bit, but I think you just smell it. I don't think it's like heroin.
No, but I think that's another, like, that's a joke. Like, you wouldn't...
Okay.
That's what makes him so high.
Well, okay.
Because instead of snorting them, he injects them. It would probably kill you.
Yeah. I want to mention here that the druggie's car, the license plate is Dixar.
Oh, yeah.
They showed Pixar how it's done. Right? Pixar is so bad.
Yeah.
I like this movie.
Fuck you, Pixar.
Fuck you.
We can do this better. So the sausage guy knows the truth now. Because he's spoken to the people.
Yeah.
And the firewater guy has told him he needs to go to the aisle beyond the ice for proof of the truth. So he's trying to get the party to do that with him. And they're like, no, I believe in the gods. We're going this way.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm going that way. So that's what they do.
This is the genericness of the plot comes in, because I'm pretty sure they just picked up like a generic animation plot, because it happens in almost every recent animation. Not even recent, like last 30 years, which is, there's like this artificial, like, the group splits up.
Okay.
Or like, the really common one is, he lied to us.
Yeah.
That one, it's that kind of trope. It doesn't feel natural at all, but we have to split the group up.
Because what this story needed was more plots.
Yeah.
Meatloaf happens now. Out of nowhere, for no particular reason, why he's travelling to the last aisle.
Because he has a song about anal sex, that he won't do that. And that's, so I have to put that in, I guess. Is that song really about that?
That's nonsense.
What is it about?
Well, that's the point. The point is not to know.
But I won't do that.
Yeah, I would do anything
What?
for love, but that's the point. The point is you take your own meaning from it. Like,
No.
whatever your stand is, like, whether it's moving abroad, having a third kid, whatever.
Watching Sausage Pie.
Watching Sausage Pie. Yeah, I just won't do that. The human shoots the bath salts into his arm.
Yeah.
And...
I'll help you. He trips out. He starts seeing the actual vegetables and those sausage guy Barry. He starts seeing them as they are talking, moving sausages.
This particular mix of bath salts means that he can now see what we see in terms of the animation.
Yeah. Is this where I chuckled? Is this why my brain broke?
Yeah, so it goes around the room and you see like half-eaten biscuits and they're like, don't you eat me, don't you ever eat me again. And you see a bag of crisps, scrolls across the room, and you see a toilet roll on the floor.
Can I explain why I laughed at that?
Please do, because it needs an explanation why you laughed at that, because my respect for you drops in a massive degree.
You turn around like, what? While I was laughing.
My temptation was to just get up and walk out. Just leave.
I didn't know what it was. I was like looking at it, I was like, what's that? Is that another used condom? Or like, is that... I thought, my first thought was that it was a flashlight.
Okay.
And then when I realized this is toilet roll, it's so stupid that I kind of like, I immediately like, oh my God. I didn't laugh because it's funny. I didn't laugh because it was stupid. I think I laughed because I dissociated from my own psyche and I've gone mad. It happened from there and I laughed more and more.
Right, this is where we meet. The chewing gum.
Oh God.
So the chewing gum is a super smart thing, and they've chosen to represent his smartness by making him a tiny Stephen Hawking in a wheelchair with a robot voice and everything. Now, it didn't make sense to me why he can't talk. Everything can talk. A packet of crisps has a mouth on the front of it. Why can't the chewing gum talk?
I mean, if you're gonna start doing that, we can talk about that for hours. How this movie doesn't make sense that way.
No, please don't. Please.
So you don't want to open up that Pandora's box of trying to make sense of this movie, because it's not gonna happen. It's because it's funny, and they haven't made fun of the disabled yet, so they gotta do that now.
So the stoner guy passes out and they try to wake him up.
Yeah.
And then it immediately cuts back to Sausage,
Yeah.
who makes it to the cutlery aisle, and he climbs up a little tower, and he finds the one cookbook that's on sale in the whole store.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
So he finds his cookbook, and obviously in it is... By the way, also, cookbooks don't have pictures of humans eating food.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
They don't. You don't have a person eating a hot dog in a cookbook.
Yeah.
2 reasons. One, because you show the picture of the food presented, and that's meant it look delicious. And 2, because you wouldn't have hot dogs in a cookbook. It's a fucking hot dog.
Yeah. I was gonna say, wouldn't they have like images around the store that are more representative in people like holding food and like eating stuff, you know, like a kid eating an ice cream or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, you said that the gum was confusing. You just reminded me. I think the pizza was way more confusing.
Yep.
It's like one slice of pizza has one sentience.
Yeah.
And
But the pizza as a whole should have sentience in it. It should be
Yeah.
cut into small pieces.
yes.
And it's the same with the Mentos as well later in the film.
Yeah.
Where he's a whole thing and he drops his insides out, and each one is a small Mentos with a mouth and a soul. What am I saying?
What did we watch? What is this movie?
He tries to tell everyone that all their beliefs are fake, and obviously no one believes him,
Mm-hmm.
because you probably wouldn't, to be fair.
No. Later you wouldn't either.
Barry returns.
Yeah.
Barry returns with a human head.
A decapitated
Decapitated human head. Again, you could nitpick it. How have they got a head back to doing... They said, oh yeah, we learned to drive his car. Obviously.
Well,
That would have been a better scene, actually.
yeah.
Actually, isn't there a scene like that in like Toy Story or something, where 2 of them were on the wheel and
Yeah.
they're working the pedals?
Yeah.
That would have been a
There's
better
a
scene.
scene in loads of movies like that.
Yeah?
But for that, you have to render a whole new environment. Make, you know, new car models. You have to kind of storyboard it and like direct it in a way that it's funny and it makes sense.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, what? I was right with you up until that last bit. And then you've got to figure out how you're going to squeeze 20 sex jokes into the car scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
Honk honk. I can do it. And this is where the Frank has another kind of, we gotta band together, we gotta do this. And it's like barely anything changed. But now all the food items believe him.
I think the main thing, like, because they shoot the bath salts into the people, and then the people see the food, and their humans in self-defense start eating the food,
Yeah.
and that's when everybody realizes
Okay.
that the humans do eat the food.
Okay.
So the food kills all the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been more bloody.
Yeah, I was
Like-
expecting that as well. To be honest, this is the second time I've seen it.
Yeah.
And even now, I was expecting that to be kind of like... Because they've been to the knife aisle.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to, like, proper
They-
stab. And,
They already have the R rating.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
why are you gonna lose?
Yeah. You've got the R rating, and you've seen a decapitated head.
Yeah.
So why not just...
Yeah. It would have been at least mildly entertaining and kind of like a full circle moment for the product.
hmm
There's something in this movie that it held back something,
Yeah.
which is it could have been easily been a actual products movie. Like they could have made so much money if, you know, if the sausages are Joe's sausages.
There isn't a single food product in the world that would have endorsed this film
Nah.
and actually put their products in the film. Because it's so racist on so many levels.
Do you think that's the reason?
Well, it's one of many reasons. Could you even think of a company that might go for it?
You know how, like, when there's a right-wing kind of hair on fire, oh, a trans person is endorsing Budweiser, we're gonna make our own beer.
Okay.
It should have been those products. It
Right,
should have been
yeah,
like
okay,
these
yeah.
Freedom cigars and America Freedom coffee.
Talk to me about the food orgy at the end.
Do I have to?
Yes. Yes, you do.
I haven't been as uncomfortable watching a food orgy since I shouldn't have said food orgy because I can't come with an example.
What examples do you have of that?
It's just so long and uncomfortable, and yeah, it just everyone starts fucking each other.
hmm
It doesn't make sense,
No.
and it's too long, or it's too unfunny. And that's how they solve Israel-Palestine as well. That the two different
That's
breads.
how they solve all the world's problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the bun and the sausage that have been like this couple and they're getting together for the whole film just suddenly engage in this mass orgy.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly normal to go from being a virgin to 3 guys wanking on the side
Yeah.
while a female bun gets eaten out by a taco.
Yeah.
Because
It's the obvious joke is the taco is the lesbian.
why?
Because it looks like a vagina.
Okay. So there's one point where the sausage...
Do we have to go
yeah,
into this ending?
fucking hell. There's one point where the sausage goes through the bagel.
He's
through,
illustrating this with his hands.
yeah, through the bagel, through the bun, and up into the lavash. There you go. That is my lasting image of this film. That's the bit I remembered from this film that I really didn't want to see again. So I needed to share that with everyone listening.
Bun's character didn't make any sense, not just in his, but in the turnaround for the Frank sausage guy as well. Like, she turns around for him from nothing. She just completely abandons her personality and believes for nothing. Nothing changed her mind. Nothing happens. But she changes her mind to be more supportive of him.
The film wouldn't be complete without one final twist
Oh, yeah.
where they go back to Firewater's racist cave and they've all got super high and they discover that they are in fact animations.
Yeah.
I was hoping in this kind of like a Lego movie scene where they come out through the portal and they murder Seth Rogen or Edward Norton. By the way, what the is Edward Norton doing in this film?
That's paycheck.
Because he's known for being super awkward in
Yeah.
films and only doing films that have kind of like artistic merit.
Yeah.
And
Really saw the artistic merit in a sausage fucking a bagel.
the most Hollywood thing he's done is Incredible Hulk, the original one. And he abandoned that because he didn't see the character going anywhere,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
And it's like he wanted his own vision.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of person he is.
Maybe this is his vision. Of sausage party. Maybe this started out as like a political kind of world peace movie. And it became this through Edward Norton's. Maybe this is like super meta, right? Maybe like Edward Norton is not himself. He's playing his character from American History X, playing the bagel. Speaking of animators,
Yep.
we've got an article for you.
Okay.
Working conditions for sausage party animators, pretty terrible.
The animation was terrible. It was really, even for 2016, it was very bad.
What do you mean even for 2016? 2016 is a few years ago, pretty much. By 2016, it was pretty easy to do neat-looking animation. There's no low standards in 2016, and it looked awful. It looked like some high school graduates 3D animation. The one that really stood out to me, and I don't know why, was Honey Mustard. It looked awful.
Yeah. And it's so early on in the film as well that you think you'd at least get the start right.
Yeah, and no like texture, and it moved weird. Two of the animators said executives at Nitrogen threatened to damage their reputations after they put their notice in. They get blacklisted, they didn't pay them overtime, they didn't get credit, and all the fun stuff. And they had to animate a fucking sausage going through a bagel.
I would want to be credited. I would want to be paid, but I wouldn't want to be credited.
Yeah, but can you imagine someone like cracking a whip for you to animate the fucking sausage fucking up bagel? Like, and this terrible, stupid shit. And even not getting paid for it properly.
I vaguely remember this story because it was quite a big thing at the time.
Yeah.
And I think it started off the whole CGI technicians not getting paid enough. Because that has been a big thing in the last few years.
Yeah, this was a big story.
I think that started it. So, some good came out of the film. Imagine, like, going through university to be a CGI, to be like an animator. And your dream is to work for Pixar or do the next Toy Story. And then you end up doing this shit.
Yeah.
Your job is to animate a Nazi sauerkraut bottle.
Yeah. Your job is to animate a shelf of lavash is going la 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 la.
Oh my god.
I'm quoting the movie. Don't at me.
That is it. That's the end of the film.
Thank you, Roger.
So, Roger, if you have listened to this, and if you actually recommended it because you enjoyed Sausage Party, we do apologise.
He's not listening anymore. He's cancelling his Patreon right now. I was thinking we could go have another go. Shake it up. And there's no more... It can only get better from here.
Cool. Right, so the next movie is From Beyond.
Yes! Yes, 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 yes!
Thank you, Emily, for picking this film. Dan seems to be very excited.
You're gonna hate it so much. You won't believe it. Not as much as Sausage Party, but goddamn.
I have a question for you, by the way.
Yes.
Which is worse? Sausage Party or Little Nicky?
What's worse? Mao's China or Hitler's Germany, you know, like. Sausage Party has that one redeeming little scene with the war. So I think it's better.
You think?
And also, just the fact that it's animated, because that lends some creativity to it. And while Little Nicky feels really fucking lazy, and just because it's animated, Sausage Party has to have some sort of effort put into it, you know?
Yeah.
So
I disagree. I think, I would say Sausage Party is
well, you
worse.
have your nostalgia.
Because, I have more nostalgia, but also they put, like, some effort into the sets of Little Nicky, and even though it is animated, it means people put effort into it. Like, it's the same for a film set. Like, a bunch of people still worked on it. A bunch of people still put the effort in to make the film. So I wouldn't say it's much different in terms of putting effort in. Would you like to tell me about From Beyond? Or are you going to leave it as a...
It's a horror film.
Okay.
Your favorite kind.
My favourite category.
It's sexual. It's weird. It is based on a Lovecraft, I think.
Oh, I do like Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you
Lovecraft.
that because it gets your hopes up.
You saying Lovecraft amongst that description, it just makes me picture like this really dark like house that you'd never walk in, and there's just like a piece of candy on the front doorstep. And I'm like, ooh, Lovecraft.
Yeah, that's pretty much From Beyond. It's gonna be fun.
Cool.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
If you're still here.
If you're still here, it was nice having you as a Patreon, Roger. Thank you for listening to the last ever episode of I Hate Your Movie.
Fuck.